Okay, hello, Adebuke. Can you hear me? Always good evening. Thanks for joining. Um, so do you have okay today? It's focusing on Bootstrap. So I just want to find out, do you have any prior knowledge of Bootstrap before now? Okay. So this is the thing now. It's just we are not much here, so I think it's going to be more of like an interaction since there are no we don't have a lot of persons that will maybe want to talk. So just to prepare your mind for that, yeah. Then yeah, I'll share my screen now. Okay, can you see my screen? All right. Okay, so Bootstrap, and we'll be focusing on how you can install Bootstrap, the layouts, containers, the base system, columns, navbar, navigation and padding, buttons, forms, and then at the end we'll be doing like a mini practical session. Here we see how we can apply all of these things that we're going to talk about. So this is not everything about Bootstrap. This is just a little bit about it. The part that I feel that you might really need in whatever page you are working on. So the parts that I feel like you they are very very common to web pages. Now what you use in Bootstrap depends on the page that you are working on. Yes. So shortly you see Bootstrap has a lot of components that you can use. Yeah, but if the page you are working on does not require you using any of those components, then there is no need adding it to your page. Yeah, so that is why I kind of listed these ones out. These ones I know that common. They are common in a lot of pages today. So first of all, the installation. Now there are three ways you can install. You can add Bootstrap to your project. You can either download the file. You can either download the file and post it locally in your project, or you can use the CDN, which is like a link content delivery network, and then you can also install it using Package Manager npm. Before we do this part of it, there are some things that you just need to note before when you are setting up your Bootstrap. Some things that you need to note is, first of all, it requires the HTML5 doc type. You see all of this in the Bootstrap documentation if you go through it, and the documentation is in this link. So it requires the HTML5 doc type to prevent breaking and incomplete styling, and um, for correct behavior in mobile device, you need to include this meta name. Oops, sorry. Yeah, you need to include this metadata name goes to view port, and then when you are using when you are like the example we're doing today, we'll be using the CDN method, which is the content delivery network method. Just copy the link and then add it into your project. So that way you don't need to have the files, you don't need to download the files locally in your system. It also helps to reduce the size of your total project. So when you're doing that, where you place the CSS link and the JavaScript link matters. So you put the CSS link in the header, and then the link to your JS file, or locally or online, you put it before the closing tag of the body. You see this very soon. And then also, if you're going to be using drop downs, poppers, and tooltips in your project, you also add the popper CDN link. So let me just open it so I will see. Yeah, so this is the documentation for Bootstrap. Like I said, there are a lot of things in Bootstrap. So if you look at this left side menu of the documentation, you see everything that's available in Bootstrap. Now, when I was talking about components, where is it? 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 Okay, yeah. There's carousel, there is card, there is the drop down, there is modal, there is a lot to here, there's a lot, there's accordion, then there is badge. Like I was saying, if your page doesn't require you using any of these elements, then you don't need to add into your project. You get. So if we have time, I think we might just copy some of the examples in all of these and then add it to our final practical project. So you see how it looks. So from the top, introduction, and a quick start. So get started by including Bootstrap production ready, blah 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 blah, and all of that. So the first thing here is you create an index.html file. It is your view file, and then you include this, like they said. So let's start by first creating the index.html. I'll go to my index.html. Save it. Um, so save yes. So I call this index. So you can see my screen, right? I can't remember if I asked that one from. Alright, thank you. So index.html. That's the first thing we said we should do. Then after that, we said we should add this to our header. So this is like the boilerplate for it. So I'll just copy this and then paste. Now let's quickly go back to the slide. The things that I said we should take note of is first, it is the HTML. It requires the HTML file doc type. Let's check. It's here. It's there. And it says for correct behavior in mobile device, we should include this meta name plus viewport. It is there, which is this. And then they said place the link to the CSS in the header and then the link to the scripts just before the closing tag of the body. Now, where can we find that? You can find them. So this is the CDN. If you come to this side of the page, this download part, let me click on it. Yeah. So if you want to add Bootstrap files to your project locally, you can download this. You can click on it here and download this. So it's downloaded. Then when you download it and you open it, you're going to find a lot of files in it. A lot of files. So this folder is for the CSS and this folder is for JS. So in this CSS folder, this is actually what you need. Just like the what's it called? The core of it. This for your styling and everything is actually what you need really in this folder. And just ensure that you take this bootstrap.mini.css. So this is like the compressed or the minified version of it. Take this and don't take this. Then for the JS, still something like that. You take the minified version also, which is bootstrap.mini.js. So I'm sure you know. I don't know if you know how to link files locally in your project. Do you know how to do that? Okay, it's fine. Um, let me just pull out this one. just bring out this one and let's put it in. Better still, take this. Oh, this it here. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm just trying to do is extract the files that I need from it so that I can link it. Take it to this. Okay. If I can find this now. And then, there is it. Yeah, yeah. Take it from this. Okay, so I can now take this to this and this and then so this. Oops. And then to this. Okay. So if you want to link, here's my listing. Do you see what I did? Okay. So what I did was I first of all I extracted these files that I need from it. This bootstrap dot main dot css file, and then this bootstrap dot js file, and then I added them to this directory where my index.html file is. Then after that, for the for the um for the css file, you use this link tag, and then this href you just reference where the file is. So I moved it to the same folder with my index file so that it will be very easy for me to link. So basically, what this one means is this dot is saying this current directory, look for this file. That's like, oops, not JS. Let's see, CSS. Yeah. So that's doing there. So that's how you link for the same for your script file too. Instead of the link tag, you use your script tag and then also reference it in the source. So that's how you can add Bootstrap locally to your project. But like I said earlier, for today I'll be using the CDN link. So I can find that. Yeah, I can find that here. So I'll just copy it. I'll just copy it and then I'll paste it. Remember, they said we should. If you remember, I said that we should put the CSS in the header and then put this the JavaScripts just before the body closing tag. So I'll put my CSS here. This is my CSS, and then I'll put my JS file here. Put my JS file here. So that's it. Then let's see. Let's go back. Okay. And blah, 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 blah. Alright, so let's see now if we've done it right. So I'll save and then I'll go to my folder and I'll try to open something. Okay, so we can now inspect. We can now inspect. Now, so okay, you can see my screen, right? I want to show you something on my screen. Okay, so just what? So I'm selecting this hello world. Now this hello world is coming from this is it here. And try and create a distinction between them. Okay. So this is the hello world here that you can see here. Now remember that the way I linked my style was through this, right? The CDN um method. So if you come and inspect, if you come and inspect this and then you check the style, you check here, you can see the source of the style is cdn.js delivery.net blah 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 blah, which is the same thing as what we have here. You get, so that's how you add Bootstrap to your project remotely using using the CDN method. So I think that's that for the setup. So when you once you're done with that part of it, so that means you are good to go. You can apply other Bootstrap stylings to your project and you'll be fine as long as there is network. Now that's the downside of this. So if you don't have network, your projects, your styles will be broken. You get, so if you don't have network in your system and you try to load and you add Bootstrap to your project using the CDN method, because it's a remote source, you will need to it will need network to access the files online so that you can apply the styles that you told you to apply. So if you don't have network, then it's best to use the local method where you just have all your stylings in your system locally, and then your HTML file can go and pull your styles locally from your system. So that's that for the setup. The next part is okay, layout. Layout. You know, there's this saying in web development saying mobile first in terms of um responsive page design. You say you start from mobile view and then you start designing from there upwards. You get, so with Bootstrap you can easily achieve responsiveness in your page, and that's made possible because of the breakpoints, different breakpoints that are available in Bootstrap. Now, breakpoints are customizable weights that determines how your responsive layout behaves across device or viewpoint sides in Bootstrap. And big breakpoints are the building blocks for responsive design. You can use them sorry, you can use them to control when your layouts can be adapted at a particular viewpoint or device size. Now let's see the available breakpoints in Bootstrap. Okay. Before I go to that, sorry, I forgot to show you this. When I was showing you the focus, I said at the end of everything, when we've gone through the list that I created, we're going to try and do like a practical like a practical application of everything that we've done. So this is like a layout that I want us to do with Bootstrap at the end. So this is like a web page. So this is the nav bar. You see how you can easily create nav bar from with Bootstrap. So this is like a first row, like a section, and then it's another section. So you see how you can easily separate, how you can easily lay out your pages with Bootstrap using the container rows and columns. So even you can determine how wide you want your div to be on a particular screen, or you want it if you want it to be 100%, that's filling the whole screen. you can determine that easily using Bootstrap. Then this part is going to be like form. So you can also see how you can easily create form, and also arrange the layout of your form using Bootstrap. So at the end, I won't be one doing this. So I'm showing you this now so you can have a mental picture of it, so that when I'm going through the list, you can start saying, okay, this is what I'm going to use here. Because when I get to this part, you unmute your mic, and then you're going to direct me, like you tell me what's best to use here. How do you think I can achieve this? How do you think I can achieve this layout? And how do you think I can achieve this layout? So that's why I'm showing you this, so you can know what and what to use in all of this. Is that clear? Are we still together? Wow. Can you hear me? Okay. Did you get all of that I just said? All right. Okay. So yeah, breakpoints. Now these are the available breakpoints in Bootstrap. There is you mostly use XM, MD, LG, XL, and XSL. So this is for small, medium, large, extra large, and extra large. So these are all referring to screen sizes. So small applies to a minimum of 576 pixel upwards. Medium is from 768 pixel upwards. Large is from 992 pixel upwards, while extra large is 1200 pixel upwards. Then double extra large is 1400 pixel upwards. So if okay, not here. Very soon when we start talking about, I think, containers or columns or grids, one of the list, one of the items in our list, you see how you can modify the behavior of your page with these prefixes, these identifiers. And also, if you have any question in anything I'm saying, or if I'm too fast, also you can let me know. Okay, containers. Now, containers are the most basic layout elements in Bootstrap, and they are required when using the default grid system. Now, Bootstrap comes with three different containers. There is the container without any prefix. This one sets the width of your page. It sets the width of your page to the maximum, like 100%. That's what I mean. Container, which sets a maximum width or at each responsive breakpoint. Uh, Container breakpoint. This is container hyphen breakpoint. Now, you remember when we were talking about breakpoints, when we these are the breakpoints you get, the XM, MD, LG, XL, and XXL. So container hyphen breakpoints, that's saying container hyphen XN, for example, or container hyphen LG. You get. Now this sets the width to 100% until the specified breakpoint. In other words, if I say container hyphen um, MD, what it's saying is that it's going to set the width to 100% until it gets to this specified breakpoint. Yes, so when it gets to this part, it's no longer going to be 100%. It's going to take a particular um, it's going to take a particular width, maximum width value for each of these breakpoints. You will see shortly the maximum width value that container can take. Then the container fluid, it sets the width of your page to 100% throughout the whatever breakpoint that you specify. the weight of your page is always going to, or rather the weight of that particular element of div is always going to be 100%. Let's quickly see. Let me see if this is the example I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was saying. So when you use container, it's 100% here. But then when the screen size is greater than is equals to or greater than 576, then your container won't exceed this value. Yet when your screen size is equals to or greater than 5, I mean 768, your container won't exceed this value. The maximum value that it's going to get is going to be 720, just like that, like that, like that. So you can see also when it is MD, it's going to be 100% here, 100% here. And then when it gets to MD, then it won't exceed this value. Remember when we were talking about this part, container breakpoints, it said the initial value of the weight of your element is going to be 100% until it gets to the specified breakpoint. So that's what it's saying here. So if your specified breakpoint is MD, that's container MD, it's going to be 100% until it gets to this breakpoint. Then when it gets to this breakpoint, it's going to shrink down to 720 pixel. Do you understand that? Okay. So that's what this table is. So you can see for all of them, there's a particular limit, except when you use container fluid. Um, so how do you apply container? And the beautiful thing about Bootstrap is most of the thing you do is, as long as you've done this setup correctly, any other thing you just need to do is mostly just going to be copy paste, because you're basically copying the class or whatever code that you have for you, just copying it and then adding it to your project. Then bam, you see the effect of it. So let's there was something there was somewhere I saw. Hold on, let me see. Maybe it's the second link. So I want to show you the okay, yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. So this is container, this is container, this is container SM, this is container MD, this is container LG, and on, then container fluid. Now let me shrink this. Let me shrink this to shrink like this. So you can see this is, oh man, here's it. Oh man, sorry. Let me go find this. Okay, yeah. So I want you to look at this part, this this value in my screen. Huh? When I start increasing the width of this page, be looking at this value. So let's first of all study that of container. So it says that it's always 100% unless the width of the screen is greater than 576, right? Right. Hello? Is anybody here still? Hello? Okay. So I was saying the rule here is that when you apply container to an element, the width is going to be 100% until the width of your screen is equal to or exceeds 576. So, like I said, look at these parts of my screen, and then just study this this element marked dot container, you will notice that when it gets to 576, it's going to stop increasing. It's going to stop, and it will not exceed that value anymore. It's 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Bam. You can see it's no longer increasing. It has stopped increasing because the limit that this limit, this value, we've exceeded this value. So that's the reason why it stopped decreasing. Which other one can you see? For this value to container MD, our current value is 878, and container MD, the once it exceeds 768, it's going to shrink down to 720. So that's the reason why you see that this one is no longer increasing, if I even if I it's no longer being 100% rather. Even if I and the reason why you see this one now, okay, let's see this. Okay, here it stopped decreasing, but then you now notice that very soon it's going to increase again, and then it looks like it's going to cover the screen here. So our value here now is 100 1000. Let me just say 1000. So our value here right now is 1000. So if you come back here, MD, when the value is greater than 992, as long as the value is less than 1200, is going to be 1140. So I think our value is 1000, so that is just going to be above this. So that is why you saw that it skipped from being 720 to 960. Yeah, I hope you get that. Okay. So how do you add the Bootstrap container to your project? Let's go back to the project we are creating. So we have this. Then the only thing you just need to do is um, come here. This is the code. So the only thing you just need to apply this class of container to your elements, and then you're done. So I'll just copy it, and then I'll go back to my code. I'll wrap this in the div. And then I'll just paste my style there. Save. Now when I come back to this, you can see right now there is no margin, there's no padding, there is nothing to this very page. And also, if you observe the elements here, there is nothing in it. So let me just reload now. Bam. Because I applied container, you can see now I now have my elements wrapped by this, and then there is no margin between the page. Now, if I change this from container to say container fluid, remember we said container fluid will always be 100%, no matter whatever it is, no matter what you specify, no matter your screen, it's always going to be 100%. So that's why you see that this is covering the whole of my page. So if I say just to say container sm here, container sm, so that's it. If I reduce this at some point, it's not going to be 100%. But let me give this say background red so that you can see. Yeah, so the red part is my container. So if I increase this at some point, it's going to cover and become 100%. Yep, 100%, 100%, and all of that. Then if I start increasing it, at some point, it's going to stop. So yeah, that's how you apply add container to your page. So most times you use container to wrap. It's like a wrapper. So some people, you can use it. Sometimes what I do is if I need a uniform margin in a particular page, I wrap the whole code of that page, I just wrap it in a single container. You get, so that way whatever it is that I add to the page will not exceed that margin, becomes uniform. Um, yep, that's for container. And then what's next? Okay, grid system. Okay, Bootstrap grid system uses a series of containers, rows, and columns to lay out and align content. It's built with Flexbox and is fully responsive. Now, how it works: containers center and horizontally pad your content, like we've seen already, while rows are wrappers for columns, and there are 12 template columns available per row. All of those English, what it's trying to say is this. You can see, if you look at this code, the parent div has a class of container, and then after that you have row, and then after that you have column. Now, I think these three, they are the bootstrap classes that I've used the most. You will always want to you will always find where to use these three. You will always find where to use these three. So it's important you understand how it works. So you can, if you see this, let me see, do I have any data in here? Okay, okay. So if you observe these this blue row that you see on the top here, this is the code for it. This is the code for it. Now you see that each of these items, they are evenly spaced. They are evenly spaced. That's because of that's made possible because of this role. Let me copy this code. Let me take this code to our project so you can see. Now, before I go there, so right now I'm trying to explain how you can achieve these parts of this project. Now, that's like where we are gradually approaching right now. So let me save this. Let me save this and go and refresh. Okay. Mm, I wish I can make each of these elements. Let me just type my elements again so that you can easily see them. Let's see. Let me just say background. Right? Background red. Okay. Okay. So you see this role, and then there is this element. There is this element. There is this, and then there is this. And if you observe, our parents, our parents div has a class of container. You see that, and then the next div has a class of role, and then every other div inside this role div has a class of col. Now see, in this role, in this role, you can have up to 12 columns. Now col stands for column. Col stands for column. In this role itself, you can have up to 12. You get, so as long as you don't specify, you see it short when we get to the part of column. As long as you don't specify the size of your column, as long as you don't specify the size of your column, is going your role can take as much as 12. Do you understand that? So because if I come here now and I repeat This right now is 1 2 3, right? 3 times 4 is 12. So if I repeat it 4 times and I save and then I reload, let me take out this container. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Increase it. Okay, so you can see this particular role can take up to 12 columns. Can take up to 12 columns. At full width, it can take up to 12 columns. But if I specify and I say this column should be say 2. How many do we have now? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Let me change that to 2. 2. And say 6. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, your role can take up to 12 columns. So when you're working a particular section of your page and you're trying to use the role, you're trying to use role for it, you need to understand how the role is divided for you to be able to know how you can section or how you can align your elements within that role. You get, if you define a particular column to be 8, and then you are defining other column, the next column to be 6, and you want all of them to be in alignment, like you want to be in a single row at maximum width, then it can't work because 8 plus 6 is already above 12. It's beyond 12 already. So it's important you know how to divide your rows when sorry your columns when working with Bootstrap. Then this next part is the column. It's like an extension of that last part. Now with the available column option, you can modify the alignment and arrangements of your elements on a single page. Interesting. Okay. Um, I don't think this is what I was looking for. Look for the part I was talking about breaking and yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. So if you see this is what I was trying to explain. If you see these elements and these elements, the one at the top is this, and then the one at the bottom is this. So because I didn't specify any size for my column, and like I said, um, a row can take up to 12 columns. So because I didn't specify any size of my column and I added only 2, or rather they added only 2 columns to this row, that's the reason why you see that it is even divided as 6 6, even divided as 6 6. Then if you come down here, they added 3 columns to this row, 1 2 3. It was evenly divided as 4 4. You get, so but if you come to this example here, this first part, the one at the top, is this is this. The first part is just col. Now the next div was defined as col6, and then there is col. What Bootstrap is going to do is it will first of all take, since there is nothing, there's no definition of size for this particular column, and there's no definition of size for this particular column, but there is for this. It's going to take this one first and then give it its size, which is size of 6. Then the remaining space is going to even divide it between the remaining divs. You get, it's going to divide it between the remaining divs. So that's when you take out 6 from 12, you are left with 6. That means each of these divs, they are both sharing the remaining 6, which is 3 3 even. Yet same thing here. This one code, this one 5, this one nothing. Then it's going to give this one 5, and then the remaining space is going to even divide it between the remaining columns. Do you understand that? Hmm. How did you get that? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so let's this nominal bias. Okay, let me use, have I done the demo for column? Okay, yeah, I have. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Now that's part of that project that I showed you. If I set this to, okay, let me save this and then come to my page. Reload. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2 of 2, this is 1 of 3, blah blah, and all of that. Let me make this, insert this element, select this element. Let me, okay, let me make this one red so you can see it. Get background of, say red. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to increase, I will give this one a background of white, the middle div, I give it a background of white so you can see the effect. Now they are all evenly spaced right now, but if I now take this particular one that is background of white, if I set it to say 6, you see it has increased. Then this other two, they they their size reduced. If I increase it to say from 6 to col 7, same thing happens. It just keeps shrinking. If I say col 12, do you know why it went to another row? Why? You're right, but there's a particular reason that I want to hear. If that there's a particular reason that shows, maybe you understand it, maybe you just don't know how to say it, but can you try again? You're right, or you're right. Yeah, it's because you can't take everything in one row, but then there is a reason. Yeah, okay, it's fine. It's fine. So, um, I'll just roll back a bit. Remember, I said that a roll has a maximum size of 12. You remember that, right? Yeah. So the reason, and I say that if you give a particular column a size of 8 and you try to give another column a size of 6, adding those two columns together will exceed 12. So what's going to do is going to break into a new row. Remember that here? Yeah. So what's happening here is, because I define this as code 12, and keeping in mind that the maximum size of a row is 12, so I'm saying that I want this code to be 12. That automatically telling me that I don't want everything on one page, on one on a single row. So that's what happened here. That's what happened here. Yeah. Okay. So that's why it's broken. So yep. What do I think can I show here? Yeah, I think that's majority. You should just know how to. Yeah, there's something else. I remember. You can also define breakpoints for your columns, which is this. You can define breakpoints for your columns. There is called LG. Remember our breakpoints, the one we said from the very beginning. Um, SM for small, ND for medium, LG for large, XL for extra large, and XXL for double extra large. So you can also use it when doing column. You can also use it when doing column. So what you just have to do is col dash n. Let me see if I can even shrink this page and see and show you the effect here. Okay. Okay. Collection. Man, I can't even see what I'm looking for again. Hmm. But do you still remember the rules of the breakpoint? It remains 100% until it gets to the particular breakpoint specified. You still remember the rule? No, you don't. But same rule applies with the code. Same rule applies. I don't know why this thing is not showing as I want it. Same rule applies with the column. I think there was an example that had all the breakpoints specified. Tough one. Okay, so yeah, same rule applies. If I say let me go to this page. If I say um call xm 12, then call should I do 12, let me do say 10, right? Then I say call ng, then I say call ng 6. Do you understand why it's like that? Do you understand why it's like that? Hello? Yeah, do you understand why? Yeah. Okay, why? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you have the idea. You have the idea though. But it's the limit. It's basically the limit. So what this one is saying is that As long as the limit is it's right, the page, this particular column should be should be given 6, the size of 6. You get, but then when the limit of this one, when it becomes lower than the limit of this MD, yeah, the column should be given a width of 10. So it's like conditional styling. Okay, when the value of my screen is this particular size, let it have a limit of a size of 10. You get, but when it becomes bigger, that's the screen can take all these elements in one row. Okay, break this one down to 6 so that other elements can have space to fit in. So that's like basically what this style is saying. Yeah, so what that means is that you can actually define different breakpoints for your elements. So this is the responsive part of it. You can define different breakpoints for your elements. I can say, um, let me make this one. Let me just find that. So I cannot say when it's empty, give it give it 8, and then when it's say large, give it 6. You can define different breakpoints. So you can see now that the screen is small, col X, just using col S is telling it to give it this is equivalent to code 12 that we saw earlier. If you remember when our elements broke into a new role. So just using this code S is equivalent to just saying code 12. But it's just that I'm defining a breakpoint for it, saying, okay, only give it a size of 100% when the screen size is small. That's what this part is saying. It's by saying when the screen size is small, give it a size of 100%. But when the screen size is medium, give it a size of 8. You get? Then this part is saying when the screen size is large, give it a size of 6. So that's why you see if I keep reducing increasing this one, at some point it's going to be 8, and then they will all be, you can see, or and then they will all be the same row. So this is 8, this is the 8. This right now is this is the effect, this is what's taking effect right now. This MD8, that's what it is right now. Now if I increase it further, it's going to reduce to 6. Reduce to 6, yeah, and then every other thing we now share the remaining space. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions also you can ask. Hold on. Navbar. Okay, Navbar. So back to our project. This is what we want to handle now. This upper part of it, this navbar. Now, to me, navbar is like, I think to me navbar is like the best part of Bootstrap because it handles a lot for you. Where's my code? It handles a lot for you. Let me show you what I mean. I don't know if you ever tried to if you've ever tried to create your own navbar from scratch using um HTML list, or I don't know what the method I use. I don't know if you ever tried it before. If you tried before, then you have okay, okay. You might not really understand, but if you tried it before, assuming you've tried it before, then you would appreciate what Bootstrap did here. So basically, whenever I want to do navbar in a web page, and I have a particular style in mind, and and um, and I need it to be responsive, and I need to apply Bootstrap to the project. So I just come to this page of Bootstrap. I'll scroll through the navbar styles that are here to see the one that's close to what I have in mind. One that's close to what I have in mind, and I just copy and paste it in my project, and then I edit to meet what I want. So you see there are different styles, there are different navbars available for you here. So let me take one. Let me take one and show you one the reason why I really let me follow that has dropped down. Yeah, let me use this. Let me show you one on here. So navbar is usually on the top of the page. So let me paste it here, then I'll save. I'll come back to my project, and then I will load. Bam! This is my navbar. This is my navbar. Now it's just not navbar. It's you see this? You see this? Hello, can you see this? This part of the navbar is also responsive. It's also responsive. Now, if you try doing this from scratch, it's a bit of a hassle and so on. It's a bit of a hassle and so on. So with Bootstrap, it's fast. Now, one thing about Bootstrap is will not um take away all the styling. Bootstrap will not replace all the styling in your project. So no, it won't. But then it can save you time. It can save you a lot of time in doing some things that are already available. Yeah, like for example now, obvious example is this nav bar. So assuming I also do nav bar in the project, I'll copy it and paste and then take out what I don't need and leave what I need. Even this drop down also makes it very easy to do. All you just have to probably do is fix the logic part of it, and then you're good. So right now I think I'll remove every other thing and then just leave this nav bar. I'll remove every other thing. Where is it? Remove every other thing. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it. Okay. So remove this and then I'll save. Let me change this. I'll leave that number. So I have a question for you here. Can you hear me? Oh man. Hello, can you? No, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's just you and I here now. So even if it's hard, you still throw it back to me then on one side. Unless you want to trade it to none, so then you answer it. So yeah. All right. All right. So this is my nav bar. Hmm? Then this is my come on. Yeah. Now this is my first session. Do you think this thing is aligned? My nav bar started from here. This part started from here. Do you know why? Come on. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Basically, it's because the number is not wrapped in the container. Why this part is wrapped in the container? It doesn't necessarily need to be the same container. You get, but it's just because it's not wrapped in the container. That's the reason why it's like that. So how do you think we can fix it? Yep, yep. So how do you? Good question. Yes, I want my number to be directly on top of the hello world. So what should I do? Okay. Are you thinking? Are you sure? What should we do? Okay. So basically that's it. So the this container, yeah. So I take this and I push it up and save. Now when I reload, bam, it's all there. So yeah, normally if I was to do this, then I'll now start writing margin, start writing padding and all of that. But very soon you see how you can even apply margin and padding to your elements easily with Bootstrap also. So yeah, that was correct. It's because it was not in the container, and wrapping it in the container fixed the problem for us. So yeah, that's not bad for you. Margin and padding. You can use the margin and padding spacing utility to control how elements and components are spaced and sized. Bootstrap includes 6-level scale of for spacing utility. So all of those grammar, all that it's saying is still the same breakpoints and margin and padding. So if you want to apply margin to an element, you use M. If you want to apply padding to an element, you use P. If you want to apply margin to the top, you add T to your M. If you want to apply padding to the top, you add T to your P. Just like that. If it's to the bottom, you use P. Start, still say right or left. Start and X, Y. Now, if you want to apply margin to both the horizontal, how do I call it now? If you want to apply margin horizontally, that's to the left and to the right side, which is along the X axis, you use X. And if you want to apply margin or padding to the top and the bottom, that's along the Y axis, use Y. So what's that's just saying is what is it? So X and Y axis. So let me take out this container so we can see. So you can see, yeah. So what that's saying is this: if I want to apply margin, so I'll quickly give this a background so you can see it's right. Yep. So if I want to apply margin to the X, to the left and the right side, I'll use MX. Or if I want to apply padding to the left and right side, I'll use PX. Or if I want to apply it to the top and the bottom, I'll use Y instead of X. So that's what that part's saying. Then you can now define size. So three things here. First of all, the style you want to apply, whether it's margin, if it's margin or padding, you present it with M or P. Then the direction or the side you want to apply it to, top, bottom, left, right, X, Y, you add it. And then after that, you use the hyphen and then you now define the size of the margin or the pads that you want to apply to it. Yes. So basically, at the end of it, it's going to look like. Let me see. There should be an example here. Yeah. So this is it. This is an example. This MX Auto. So this is the style. M X is the side. The sides. That's the left and the right side. And then auto is the size. So if you see this P is doing the same thing, but the thing is, if you don't define side for it, side, whether it's top, bottom, left, or right, if you don't define it for it, it's going to apply it to the whole sides. Do you understand? Do you get that? Yeah. So if you don't define a side for it to apply to the whole side, or if you define it, then it will apply to just the part you defined it. So back to our project now. Now I've removed the column. Sorry, I removed the container from our navbar, and I want to bring my navbar back to this part. So what do you think I should do? Am I using padding or margin? Margin. Okay. So I'll apply a there's my agency. Okay. Yeah. So class equals um class equals margin is n. Then what side should I define side? I'll define side definitely, but then what which side should I define? Which side? Okay. So that's the margin. Let's say four. Before too much. So let's say here. Let's see. Equals let's say three. Oh, this I think they've changed. Yeah, it's no longer left or right. It's gonna be is start and end. Where is it? It's no longer left or right. It's start and end. You get so start is this side. Start is this side and end is this side. So it's going to be ms, which is margin start. Then define three. Three is wrong. So define five. Five is supposed to be wrong. Okay, yeah, but then you see, you get how to apply margin to elements, right? So I think I'll just take this back to container to keep the alignment. Okay, to take the container to keep the alignment. Then what else in margin? I think same thing applies to padding also. You define the side if you want, and then define the size. Same thing applies to padding. Then yeah, there's something I skipped. Something I skipped. In columns, I just remembered in column there's something very important that I skipped. Yeah, alignment. It's very important. Alignment. Now, um, how? Okay, let me take this one. Let me just take this one and just want to explain. Oops. Yeah, I just want to explain. This one. Paste it. So there are two types of alignments. Can be either vertical or horizontal. When you want to when you want to align an element vertically, you use align. But horizontal, if it's horizontal, use justify. Hmm? So what's what they do now? This first, this one that's I think this one I copied just now. This one is saying align items start. That's what you see here. Align items start. That's what um, I think I should use start. Let me use start so I can add styles to it. Okay. Let me that's my code. Let me comment out these other things. So let me comment this one out. Okay. Um, okay. So let me give this a I don't know for it. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see the effects of this. Now let me see. If I say align item center, this is center. I believe I don't know. Okay, let me come back here. Let me explain it from here. Let me explain it from here. Okay, I think if I give it a height, if I give it height, it shouldn't work. Okay, so aligning items vertically. It's like this. Can you see the movement of my cursor? It's from top to bottom. That's vertical. Then aligning items horizontally is along the x-axis, left to right. So when you're saying align, like this part now saying align item start, that's saying keep everything to the top of the parent div. Now see something, please watch this. There is this div, there is this div, yeah, and then that's the parent div, and then there are one, two, three. This parent div has three children div. So saying align item starts is saying align these children to the top of the parents. Let me see. Let me give this one say a height of. Can I give minimum height 50 pixel increase? I don't think it's working. Okay. I think it's working. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so let me give this one say background of white. Yeah, and say pattern 5 pixel. Not pattern 105 pixel. Okay, so now this is what it's saying. You can see my screen, right? Okay, yeah. So align item start is saying take these three divs to the top of the parents div. If I say align, just watch the screen. If I say align item center, you can see it's moved from top to bottom. So align item, when you're using align, we're talking about vertical um vertical placement, like from top to bottom, vertical movement rather. Because I said align item center, it moves from the top of the parents to the center of the parent. If I say align item end, it moves from the top of the parents to the bottom of the parent. Now there is align item, then there is align safe. Now when you use align item, we are referring to the children in a particular parent div. By children I mean these three divs. But when you are saying align safe, just like the word safe, you are referring to that particular element that you are selecting, that you are styling. So what that means is if I take out this alignment now away from this parent div. If I take it away from this parent div and I say this first one align item ends. So how should I do this thing? Mm, 1 7. So let me see if I can reduce reduce the height of this one to say 50 pixel. Yeah, sweet. So align item ends. It didn't work for this. Okay, sorry. If I say align safe, they say because I applied it to just one element. Before, when I was applying it from the parent div, I just had to write it in one place, align item, and everything will move together. But now because I'm applying it, I'm using align safe. I'm selecting, I'm just talking to this particular div saying carry yourself to the bottom of the parents div. That's what this part is saying. This align safe. Now let me move um let me move this one, do the same to this, and I'll say align safe, align safe to center. It comes to the center, and I tell this one align safe. Okay, that's already in the start. That's already in the start. So what you take out from this is when you're using align item, that means there is a parents div and you are trying to align, you are trying to place or rather position the the um the children. That's all the divs in that particular parents div. You're trying to position them all together. You get, but when you are trying to position just one of them, you go to that particular div that you want to position, go to that div, and then you use self, align self. Align self is for a particular div, while align item is referring to the children of a parent's div. I hope you get that. Is that unclear? Exactly. Do you get do you get that, Washington again? Are you sure you got it? Okay, that's fine. So there is align item, there is align safe. There is align item, there is align safe. I think let me go to the code. Okay, so in this parent div, we have in this parent div we have three siblings, right? And this is the parent div, right? Hello? Yeah. So this is the parent div, yeah? Mm. Okay. So this is the parent div, and then this is the first child, this is the second child, and then this is the last child. So if I want to align all these children together, I want to align all of them together, I'll come to the parents and use align items. Now this item right now, this align first of all is telling you that okay, I want to position it vertically. I want the movement to be vertical. That's what this align is. Very soon you see the one for horizontal movement. So align is saying I want the movements to be vertical. Now what do I want to move vertically? Items. So this is going to tell Bootstrap, okay, in this parent div, there are some items in it which are these. There are children in it which are these. So these are the elements that I want to move vertically. Now where do I want to move them to? This one is saying start, which means to the top, which means to the top of the parent. So align is I want to move vertically. What do I want to move? I want to move items. Items is referring to divs within this parents div. So I didn't know as so when I say parents div and child div, you understand the difference, right? Do you understand the difference? Okay, yeah, sweet. So items is referring to the children of a div. So align is vertical movement. Items is referring to the children of a div, while stats is referring to the position. So let me come back to this part and let me reload. Oh, my style is going to disappear. Okay, let me just add this again. Say background weight and height 100 pixel, 100 pixel. Now this is saying align item. Let me give this one white so you can see it. White. Background white. So align items start. Remember I said align means what? What type of movement? Hello, hello. So align means vertical or horizontal movement. Align top to bottom or left to right. Alright. So align means I want to move from top to bottom. Then items is referring to what? Align means I'm moving from top to bottom. Items means I'm moving the children. Yeah. Items means I'm moving the all the divs within this parent div. I'm moving all of them together. Then start means the position I want to move them to. So align item start, we move it to the top. We move all the children to the top. Align items center. Center, we move all the children to the middle. Yeah. Then align items end, we move everything to the bottom. Do you get that so far? Okay. Yeah, we'll get to align is going to be justify. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. It's instead of align, use justify. We'll get to that after this. So we get this now. Now, but then there is a case, there's another case where you don't want to move everything together. You just want to move one. You just want to move one of them. In that case, instead of using align items, instead of applying your style to the parent div, you rather apply your style to the particular element you want to move. So let's assume. So what should I move? Which of these three columns should I move? The middle. Where should I move it to? There is up here, there is up here, there is center, there is right up. So which of them? So there is bottom, so there is ends, there is center, and there is start. Start. Okay. So this I will say align self start. Now do you know why I'm using start? I'm sorry, do you know why I'm using self? Okay, and then you know why I'm using start because you said I should use start. Because I moved to the very top, right? So you see, let me so you can see it clearly. Let me reduce one a mean size, a mean height of 50 pixel. The cool. So a maximum height. Okay. So do you know why they are all at the top? Everything went to the top. Do you know why they all went to the top? You remember we all really we said we want to just move one of them, and then we applied this title just this one. But then at the end of the day, Every other thing went to the top also. Do you know why? Yeah, yeah, that's right. So if I want to move another item from here now, what I will do is I'll do this, say align maybe end, and then I'll go to the end. So that's how you move items using the parents or the safe. Now for horizontal movement, you use justify. This is here. You use justify. So you use justify content. Um, let me take this. Now there is justify content center, justify content starts, justify content ends. There's justify content around, justify content between, evolving, and all of that. So we'll see the difference. We'll see the difference now. So let me take out this line from these items. Um, yeah, okay. I think I can take out this this since we don't need it. Then okay, so let me apply it to this. Um, if I make this, let me say 444, that's 12, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so you can see the movements. That's why I want to reduce the size. I'll give it a background again of white. Right. I have a question. No, I have a question. Yeah. Okay. So I just reduced my column now to 333, and then I gave them a background of white. But then there is an extra column here. Do you know why? It's still back to the question. Yeah. Okay. Just want to be sure you saying about that. Yeah. So justify content is for horizontal movements. Now, if I and then you apply it to the parent. Is this parent? You apply it to the parent. Where's the parent now? Oh, I think this is the parent. I think this is the parent. Yeah. So you see, justify content center added everything, brought um, the whole siblings to the middle of the parents. Yeah. So if I say justify content starts, it's gonna move everything to this side of the screen. You get? Yeah. Then there is justify content ends, move everything to the other side. What should we have? We have justify content evenly, right? Evenly. It will space them out evenly. Yeah, then there is justified. Yeah, there's around. Yeah, justified content around. So, between really. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw this and around between here. Well, you just saw it from here now, or you knew those ones before? Wow. So yeah, that's how you move elements and align elements horizontally and vertically. Sorry, I missed that part before. I had to go back. Um, so where were we? Yeah, we've done. We've seen margin and pattern already, right? Yeah, I've done them. Okay. Then buttons and forms. This part is sweet, just like navbar too. You just copy what you want and apply this and apply the style, the class rather. So for button, whatever style you want to use for button, you must always add the base class. Now Bootstrap has a base class of .btn class that sets up basic styles such as padding and content alignment. By default, it has a transparent border and background color and lacks any explicit focus and hover style. All of that English is saying that before you apply any button style, you must give it this BTN class first. If you don't, it won't work. So let's see it in action. Mm, Come here. Let me apply my button here. Let me apply my button here. Let me save. Come here, reload. So this is my button. This is my button here. Now, if I take out this base class, if I take out this base class, you see the styling, every styling that was added applied to it before, they've all disappeared. So if I move it back, mm, okay, if I move it back, then it comes back. Now that's not the only style that's available for button in Bootstrap. There are a lot of it. You can add colors. If you want to add color, use the BTN primary. But I always ensure that you add this BTN first, then use the BTN primary, BTN secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light, and dark. So these are the colors. Yeah. So, but most times I really don't like this color. I prefer using the outline. I prefer using this outline most times. So what you just have to do to use the outline is the same thing. Apply the BTN first, then use the BTN outline primary or whatever color you want. So let me say I want to use BTN outline success. I'll copy this. I'll go to my code. I'll take class BTN, then I'll apply this. Bam, it's there. Yeah. So but now let's say I want to make the text. There's something else I want to show you here now. So let's say I want to make the text. I don't want to be green. I prefer it being black. I'll do this. Now it's black, right? But if if I come back to my code and let me say, where is it? Okay, let me copy that style. This is what I want to show you. Let me copy that style. Let me say, is it a bit here now? Let's see, color black. Save. Let me see if it's still on there. let me put the sorry, let me put it back. Put the outline styling back. Come on, outline styling. Okay, yeah. So if you remember, initially when I applied this BTN outline sources, it changed both the outline and the text to green. Yeah, but now there is a different style applied to the text black, and it took effect. Huh? But then please watch this. If I move this, if I move this my CDN link, if I move this my CDN link to the bottom and I reload, and then I apply my BTN outline again. I apply my BTN outline again and I save. It's not that black. Do you know why? Do you know why? Okay. So I was saying, go back. Please watch this. It's important. If especially when you are using, when you are trying to use. You know, I said that Bootstrap will not absolutely take away your writing style for your project. You will still need to write some custom styles for your project so that it's going to help you make some things faster. You get. So if you're going to be writing custom styles for your project, that means there are times that you might want um, to edit some things to look like what you want. That also means that you're going to be linking both your Bootstrap file, your Bootstrap style, and then your personal style. So you need to understand how you can arrange them. You get. So please watch this here. Again, I'll come back here. I'll reload. I've applied just the BTN base class. I've applied just the BTN base class. Let me apply the outline sources now. You can see that, in fact, let me change this to red so that it's very, very visible. Red. This way is not sharp safe. Yeah, thank you. Change to red. Okay, so you can see that now that I've applied my outline, initially it was green. It was green when I just applied outline before. But now I modified the style of the text to red. Now the text is all red. Oh god, should I save this thing? BTN outline. Enter. Yeah, so now the text is red. But then I'll go back to my code. Yeah, and then I'll move. Please, are you watching? Okay, sorry. So I'll go back to my code now and then I'll move this. This is my custom style. This is my bootstrap link. I'll move my I'll move my custom style to the top first before my bootstrap link. And then I'll save. Before I save, let me just apply this so I don't start. Let me just apply the styling here. And then I'll save. I'll come back and I'll reload. My text is no longer going. Do you know why? Yeah, that's because if you check cascading CSS, the menu is from top to bottom. So what your web page going to do is your browser is going to do is going to give priority to the last style. The last style it says that's what it's going to give. So that means this one is basically overriding everything that came first that I saw before. Do you understand? Yeah. So that means when you load the page, your browser is going to go through your styles and say, oh, BTN. It will go to your HTML and say BTN and say, okay, she said I should give it a text of a red text. It's going to apply the red text. And then after it's done loading your custom style, it's now come down and now say, Bootstrap is telling me I should make the text green. It's going to change your red and make it green. So when you are using custom links, custom styles with Bootstrap, you need to mind the way you arrange your linking. So the one you want to give preference to should be what you load last, should be the one at the bottom. Oh, that's there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's is that what? And I'm done. This is the last part of it. The last part of it. So there's form. So form you basically just come to form and copy it. Oh, my phone is not working. Okay, so you come to form and copy. There's the form. So basically, there are different forms here. So the one you want, you just copy it out. There is the trick. There is this form control. This form if you apply the class form control to your inputs. If you apply the class, let me just use this one. If you apply the class form control to your inputs, just like if you apply BTN to if you apply BTN to your button, it's like the base class, it styles it for you. Same thing applies to your input fields. If you apply form control to it, you can see it changes the style. But if I take the form control away from it, if I take form control away from the input and I enter it, comes back to the way it was before. So yeah, I think I think I'll stop there so that we can go through. So that we can go through what I want us to go through. Mm, yeah, no problem. So come here, let's try and apply everything that we said now. So how do you think we can achieve this? Yeah. Mm. So this is the nav bar. That's the nav bar. So basically what we need for that class is just this nav bar. Apply this nav bar and then we call this CBC already. Right. So let me take away that thing away from it. So nav, we have our nav bar. Let's clean up the project. So we have our nav bar here, and that's done. Um, the next part is this. So there is a margin here. There's a margin between this section and this section. But before we get to that part, so if I'm to apply hole here, how do you think these two divs they are of equal size? So what do you think I should call it? What size should I define for the code? 4 4. Okay. So we should do that. Okay, so I'll come to code. Use it. Use this. Okay, so I'll come to code. We have two rows. two columns in it, so I'll call it 4 4. So code 4, I save, then I come back here and I reload. So let me take out the hello world, I save and I reload. So we have our page. So but then how do you think I can space them? I can move them vertically so that the space between them will be even. Okay. So we'll say background so I can see the weight. Yeah, background weight, then um, okay. So justify between. So that's going to justify contents of it. Yep. Then what's next? So there is this. So this is just like the same thing. Yeah, but then one is bigger than one. So what should I use here? What size should I use my column here? I'm asking what size should I use my column here? Okay, so let's repeat. I'll use 8 there. I'll use 8 there and other 6. And yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I think your network is bad. But can you still see my screen? Can you still see my screen? Okay, so what I did was the way I've done different is I used I repeated the same thing. But then I used 8 and sorry 6 and 4. What did I use it? I used 6 and 3 to help me achieve this difference. Yeah. So for this last part, you just have to do is you you paste in your form. Things are the time. So what you just have to do is to copy your form and paste here. So one thing I want us to do now is there is margin here. So how should I apply? How should I get go about achieving this margin? What should I do? Yeah, yeah. No, no, let's not continue now. This is just for the margin. Remember we said margin is M and then the side I want to apply it to. Yeah. But for this one, let's use this one. Let's use this one. So this one has start and bottom. So once you apply margin to the start to the top, sorry, to the top and the bottom. Yeah, so that's gonna be margin what? Margin Y. Yeah, margin start is gonna be left and right. Margin start is for left and right. So for this margin Y. Yeah. Wise for top and bottom, X for left and right. So that's basically it. Yeah, I think I'm done. So the last part is just the form, so you copy and paste the form and also use your containers and rows to align them, to arrange them. Yeah. No, so yeah, welcome. Yeah, no problem. No, all right. All right.